one note about the sound this morning. Apparently, that speaker's not working.
No, it's
this
just quieter.
microphone.
It's just quieter than the left one. I'm working on it as you're talking.
Don't worry. If you have a hard time hearing me, move over. Because this speaker is good and loud. Okay. Wanted to take a moment. Yesterday was both the Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead. It was also All Saints Day, if you grew up in a kind of mainline Catholic or Protestant church. And I found this quote from Richard Moore that I really loved. It speaks to me both about what we celebrate, what we honor, both the Day of the Dead and All Saints Day. And I wanted to remind us that we live in a totally connected world. And the Hurricane Melissa that has wreaked havoc in Haiti and Jamaica and the East Coast, all of this is for them. We all need to feel and know at the cellular level that we are not the first ones who have suffered, nor will we be the last. We are all partners with both the living and the dead, walking alongside countless ancestors and descendants who were wounded and longed for healing. This is part of the larger part of our journey, is to help heal the wounded. So let's do a minute of silence for those people whose lives were totally uprooted, upended because of the hurricane. Thank you. And whether you're here for the first time, joining us online, or whether you've been around for a while, it's always good to kind of check into the basics. So this is essentially a high level of what we teach. First is there's a power for good, and we can use it by thinking, because all thought is creative and influential. Secondly, there's only one God. All evil starts and stops in the minds of people, which refers back to number one. All thought is creative. So all devilishness, so we say, is in the minds of the people who are thinking that into the universal consciousness. Everything in our experience is either a call for love or an expression of love. Absolutely no exceptions. The tricky part is when the expression of love is not fully developed, so it's also a call for love. Those are the tricky situations. But remember, everything is either a call for love or an expression of love. And finally, at your very center, you are whole, perfect, and complete, just as you are right now. And the good news is that's something you cannot change. You were born whole, perfect, and complete. You were created whole, perfect, and complete. You can cover it up, but you can't change it. That is your essential nature. And the path of life is to uncover that original wholeness and original perfection. Okay? Don't ever doubt it. If you do doubt it, find a practitioner. They will remind you. They will lead you back into the light. Now, if you all please stand for our song and sing with us. This is one of the songs that has about 3 lines. Myself so much that I can love you so much. That you can love me so much. That you can start loving me. I love myself so much that I can love you so much. So you can love you so much that you can start loving me. I love myself so much that you can love you so much. And you can love you so much that you can start loving me. I love myself so much that I can love you so much, that you can love you so much, that I can start loving you. I love myself so much, that you can love you so much, that you can love you so much, that I can start loving me. I love myself so much, and I can love you so much, that you can love you so much, and you can start loving me. I love myself so much, that I can love you so much. So you can love you so much, and you can start loving me. I love myself so much, that you can love you so much, that you can love you so much, that you can start loving me. I love myself so much, that I can love you so much, and you can love you so much, and you can start loving me. I love myself so much, that I can love you so much, and you can love you so much, that I can start loving you. I love myself so much, that I can love you so much, that I can love you so much, and you can start loving me. While you're standing, why don't you go ahead and greet each other? Say hello, namaste, whatever is comfortable.
Namaste.
And I want to thank Reverend Sharon for this wonderful day. You should have recognized a few faces.
Namaste, movie star.
Namaste.
Namaste. Namaste, not even. Namaste, Carmen.
As I said, we are so glad you are here. Announcements. On Thanksgiving morning, there is a run, or if you prefer, walk, to feed the hungry. You can join Jim and Jennifer Cartan, wave your hands, because they are leading this quarter's social outreach. The cost is $40 to run or walk. If you don't want to run or walk, you can put up the $40 so we can raise money for the team, and all the money will go to the Sacramento Food Bank and Family Services. If you have other questions, Jim and Jennifer are here, and Ann Brooks, who's our head of social outreach, is also here, so talk amongst yourselves. Reminder that there is a community meeting after the service. This is very informal to hang out. It's a place to get any questions answered about the changes that are going on here and to be part of the planning for the future. One of the things that the leadership group that has been forming the last couple of weeks is very clear about, and that is transparency and inclusion. So come. Your voice is equal to anybody else's in the room. Okay? I hope my coughing doesn't drive me nuts. Okay. So let's turn inward. Take a deep breath. And remember, there is that in the world, that in life that loves us so much that it chose to create this incredible, fabulous universe in which we live. We are currents in an ocean of God, in an ocean of creativity, in an ocean of love. And because we live in this ocean, we are connected to every other current that is in this ocean. And so we gather here today with all of our connections, not just us, everyone we're connected with, everyone on YouTube, everyone who sees this recording later. We are all called to this moment to remember who we are in truth. And so I know that everyone will hear exactly what they need to hear. And they will be able to say exactly what they need to say. For this is a safe and holy sanctuary. Love rules. Because love is the only power in the universe. And so for all of us and more, I give thanks. And so it is. A couple of quick readings. When we understand people's stories, then all of their actions, including all of the ways in which they hurt people, make sense. Someday, we will come to perfectly appreciate the fact that no living soul is more important than any other one. As I said last week, we're going to be doing a variety of meditation practices. Today we're going to do chanting. That is today's chant. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. We're going to chant this for 2 minutes and then go into 3 minutes of silence. And if you're like me, I can't say that thing more than 2 or 3 times without messing up. Okay, somehow words and sentences go all whoopsie in my mind. So don't worry about it. Just take a breath and keep chanting. Just keep chanting. Chanting is an ancient practice that opens up the heart. That's its whole purpose. Okay? So let us begin. Actually, you want to turn it on first, so I don't have us chant for 5 minutes.
Patricia, are we chanting all together all at once, or are we
All together, all at once. There is only one life.
There is
That
one
life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. song.
I'm writing an ending with a better storyline. Turn the page and leave the blanks with a plot that's less defined. And though I won't get back a day's stolen time, I could go to bed at night with a better storyline. People can't be changed in the past, but the old house burned down and the wind scattered the ash. Forgive myself for all broken glass, what I didn't know how to say or ask. I'm writing an ending with a better storyline. Turn the page and leave the blanks with a plot that's less defined. No, I won't get back a day's stolen time. I could go to bed at night with a better storyline. Here's the scene when I lost my man, when the breadcrumbs flew away, and there was no way back. Just the compass of my heart to find the path, seemed only in the dark. Flash the lightning flash, I'm writing an ending with a better storyline. Turn the page and leave the blanks with a plot that's less defined. No, I won't get back a day's stolen time. I could go to bed at night with a better storyline. There are stories shaped like stones, ones our hearts have always known, ones we finally come down with the spirit leaves the bone. I'm in where another story starts. At the edges I can grow, even when the razor's sharp. Grateful for the words that I bookmarked. Before I really knew I'd need them for this part. I'm writing an ending with a better storyline. Turn the page and leave the blanks with a plot that's less defined. No, I won't get back a day's stolen time. I could go to bed at night with a better storyline.
So, how do we write in the story? Anybody want a new story in their life? Anybody have changed the story of your life already? Yeah.
Baby steps.
So today's talk is the four realms, from the place of where am I now and where do I want to be? The four realms of consciousness, this is nothing new. Many writers have written about them for centuries, and they use different languages and different words. But essentially, the four realms of consciousness is life happens to me, is stage one. Life happens by me, is stage two. Life happens through me, is stage three. And life as me is the last stage. We're going to cover the first two stages today because they're the ones I'm most familiar with. Next week we'll talk about transitioning into the third realm of consciousness, and not a whole lot about the fourth because as me is kind of like the Dalai Lama or the Buddha or Jesus or Muhammad or any of the great teachers. I think most of us visit that place, but I don't know anybody who lives there. So I cannot speak with authority on that one. But these two, the first two, I can speak with authority because I've lived them. Okay. First one, life happens to me. We generally call it victim consciousness. And we call it that because it's a place of having no power. Everything is out of control. And this is also, for those of you who know me, I have a strong background in child development, and this is developmental. We start as children, babies. Babies have no power, or very little. And children are totally formed by their parents and the family that they find themselves in. They're sponges. Babies just soak it up. What's the old phrase? Give me a child until they're 5 and they're mine for the rest of their life. That's where our deep beliefs get communicated. So the original programming is the strongest that we have, and it is about our family history. That original limits are set, original ideas of who we are and who we can be, and what our place in the world is. The phrase, the unexamined life is not worth living. People in victim consciousness, when life happens to them, have not examined their life. They're at a place of, they're unconscious. They are not self-aware yet. And again, all of us started there. This is not a bad thing. This is part of the arc of spirit having a human experience, is us starting here and then opening and learning more to make that shift in consciousness. For people who get stuck here, or, I mean, and frankly, we're not even able, developmentally, our prefrontal cortex doesn't come online until in the early 20s. So we literally cannot link past, present, and future. So the whole concept of I did this, and this happened, therefore this is going to continue, is impossible until you're in your early 20s.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, that's the prefrontal cortex. And culturally, that's when kids go off to college at about 18 or 19, and they start getting new ideas, and they come back and think their parents are so stuck in the mud. That's the first glimmer that there's something more than what you've known. You don't have to go to college to get that. You know, you start in the work world, and you meet people that are not like your family. And they have different expectations and different assumptions. And that starts the path of self-awareness. So it can come anywhere, but generally not until the early 20s. Okay. When people get stuck in this, because of the feeling of powerlessness, they tend to go towards control and perfectionism. And they internalize all those outer systems or outer expectations and role models that they have been given. And because there's no solidity, it's all outward based. Okay? There's no solid ground inside. It becomes increasingly important to hold on to whatever system they think works, or to find one that they think works. Family values is one. The church especially fundamental churches that have very clear rules. It's that sense of, if I follow those rules, what I've been told, then I'm going to be okay. But it's that constant comparison of, am I living up to those expectations? Am I living up to those outer standards? It's not a comfortable place to be. It's not supposed to be comfortable. That's the good news. Okay. It's also, people get hooked into what I would call the surface levels of systems like astrology and the Enneagram, DNA. I can't do anything else because I'm a type 9 on the Enneagram. This is just the way I am. Okay. Well, I'm a Scorpio with Pisces in my moon, so of course I'm going to be this way. How can I be anyplace else? That's all a very surface level of understanding of those systems. It's the same way with religion. If I do these behaviors, I'll be okay. And they don't get the deeper teachings of the religion. It's just the surface behaviors. But they cling to those surface behaviors because that's the only stability they have at this point. Lots of blame and shame thinking, lots of always and never thinking. In the AA movement, it's called stinking thinking. Okay? I love that. And it's closed loop in terms of it always comes back to the beginning. Okay? The thing I hear the most is, yes, but. There are other ways of doing things. And the response from the person is always, yes, but this is just the way I am. This is the way it always is. The world is set up this way. It's not fair. The yes, but, that response says whatever came beforehand has no meaning. What comes after the but is what they believe. Okay? And they hold to that belief. We hold to our beliefs. Perfectionism is really hard because we internalize these outer standards and we have to live up to them. It's constant comparison. Okay? You're doing better than I am. I must be less. But I'm doing better than you are. So I must be okay. But there's always going to be people who are more skilled, more qualified in some areas, and those that are less qualified and less skilled. So that comparison never gives us a solid place to rest. It's very reactive. Because change is incredibly scary when you live on control and outer standards. Because it doesn't matter the outer standard, it's going to change. Standards change. And that's really scary. And when the Catholic Church went from the Latin Mass to the Mass of the language of the community, people freaked out. It was change. Life is not fair. Other people always have a better deal. It's hopeless. Okay? The biggest phrase is, I can't. I can't because. Anybody ever lived there? Come on, I know I'm not the only one. Okay. We start getting out of that when something in us says, there has to be a better way. There has to be. This can't be right. And we have this life-affirming no from deep inside us that says, no, this isn't right. It can't be. And that's the beginning of waking up. The spiritual practices to move us out of this place, the state of consciousness, are pay attention. I'm reacting to something. Why am I reacting? I don't know about you guys, but when I reacted, it was totally out of proportion to whatever was going on. I mean, life was going merrily along, and then something would happen, and I just came unglued. Meltdowns. And you see some nods and smiles. I'm not the only one. Okay? That's supposed to get your attention. Why am I melting down? What's going on? What deeply held belief has been challenged? What area of control is my internal self telling me that I'm not in control of, and I'm freaking out? Okay? Mindfulness. And it's a difference between looking at my life from a comparative point of view to looking at my life with, I wonder why I'm doing that. I wonder why they're doing that. No judgment, just mindful. I'm having a reaction. And gratitude and forgiveness. Those are primary. It's the changing the focus from what doesn't work to being grateful for what I do have and what does work. We all have things to be grateful for every moment of every day. And we can be in joy, because joy is one of those energies of spirit. It's a principle. It's always present, even when I'm getting freaked out about something. We can hold two truths simultaneously. I'm having a reaction, but there's still joy in the world. There's still good stuff in the world. I mean, even the basics. Every day it rains, I am so grateful I have a home and I'm not on the streets. Okay? We live in a land of incredible beauty. Redwood trees. And such ingenuity. People doing really wonderful things. Okay? Where do I put my attention? Gratitude and forgiveness. Yeah, I'm going to stumble and fall a lot. But kids do that when they're learning to walk. I've never lived this life before. I didn't get instructions when I came here. I'm a learn by the moment kind of person, and we all are. Okay? So I'm going to stumble and fall. Forgive yourself. It's okay. Once that door opens, you kind of have no choice. This is one of those, once you've seen the light, you cannot go back into the dark. So the more you become aware that there's got to be a better way, that there is a life-giving way, you've crossed a threshold. And the threshold is into life happens by me. And I love the word manifester because that really works with our teaching. And I learned a new term for this one, and it's architect. Where the victim, life happens to them, and they have no power or control. An architect can build a new life. And all of us are architects of our lives. So it's a transition from an outer focus to an inner focus. It's awareness. This is the most metaphysical science of mind point of view. I mean, this second stage of consciousness defines mental science. I can do it. I have some power and control in my life. The psychologists call it agency. I have agency. I learn about spiritual laws, the law of attraction, the law of circulation, the law of creating mental equivalence so that it tracks into my life, so my thinking can become clear and I can attract something in. Not because I'm controlling and manipulating out there, but because inside me, I know a truth. and it has to come to me. I become responsible as in able to respond rather than knee-jerk reactions to things. I become accountable. Michael Beckwith says we have 4 windows that we can view the world. The first is Job. What I feared came upon me. That's the story of Job out of the Bible. Okay? We can also look at what's happening in our life as a lesson or a blessing. Frequently both. Okay? And then there's it's a higher level of Job. What I feared came upon me. There's a collective consciousness that I have bought into. And maybe something's in my life because of this collective consciousness. It's not just me. I've bought into something bigger. And I have a choice. Do I want to stay bought into that, or do I want to adapt it and change it? Okay. The spiritual practices, I love, tend the garden of the mind. Remember, all thought is creative and influential. That's my garden, and I need to tend it. No one can tend it for me. I can pull weeds. Pulling weeds means to look at those beliefs and looking at them and going, do I really want to believe this? Okay. I have a very pragmatic approach to science of mind. And Holmes did too. It doesn't matter whether we do this great academic, theoretical argument of is it true or is it not true. For me, does it work? If I think this way, does my life work better?
Yeah.
Okay? Self-fulfilling prophecies, science says they're true. What I believe comes to me. I can't see it until I believe it. If I don't believe it, I literally cannot see it. Okay? So the garden of the mind is the garden of the beliefs. Okay? I do something in treatment sometimes where it's, I got this from Michelle Wadley, it's pulling the beliefs out by their deep roots. And I compost it. I throw them in a compost pile in my mind. And they get broken down to their original elements. Original elements can be rearranged to create whole different plants. It's all carbon and nitrogen and oxygen, right? So break it down to the original parts, let it rearrange and let it grow. Plant seeds. That's what affirmations and visualizations are about. That's how you tend the garden of your mind. Plant what you want and pull out the weeds. And interestingly enough, when you start pulling those weeds, you find the deeper beliefs that are subconscious that you don't really know about. And that's the observation. If I have a reaction, there's something underneath there. There's some belief that I have that has been violated. And if it's unconscious, I'm not in control. I'm a victim. But if I can look at that belief and say, I understand why I have that belief, but it doesn't work now. Let me plant a new seed.
Yeah.
Okay? This is mental work. Now, there is this sense that once you leave victim, you don't go back. Not true. You're going to be in and out of victim all of your life. But once you know about it, it becomes a tool for growth. Big change happens. And I get all freaked out about it. I'm cranky. That's one of my sides. I get very irritable and very short. Okay, sit back. What am I afraid of? What's going on? What am I feeling? I live in my head most of the time, so I don't pay attention to my body and what I'm feeling. So when I start reacting, it's a message that says, okay, what are you feeling? Really, what are you feeling? Body, talk to me. And then I get a chance to feel my feelings. That's the fastest way to get through any kind of emotional upset, is to stop and look at what is it that I'm really feeling, and just feel it. They say that the feeling part only lasts about 25 seconds. I can live through 25 seconds of fear. I can live with 25 seconds of panic. I can live with 25 seconds of, they're not going to love me. They're going to leave me. I'm going to be abandoned again. I can handle that for 25 seconds. And then when I get past that, I can say, okay, what are my tools? How do I move from here? Prayer, affirmation, visualization, gratitude. Any of these familiar? Okay. These are our basic tools. We as a church, as this center, are going through major changes right now. And we've got some people out in our community that have wandered, shall we say, wandered away. Many of them were wounded. Okay? So this is a time for us to have compassion for when the people we know in the community who are coming back say, we got left, we weren't told, why didn't we know what was going on? The past is the past. Let's start now, and let's heal our own wounds and help each other and be gentle with each other as we wander our way to a whole new beginning. Again, we've never done this. So we're going to learn together. And we're going to plant the most amazing garden that's going to grow into the most loving community. Because that's our nature. And I've seen it for 10 years. It's there, solidly. Now, does anybody have any questions or comments about all the stuff I presented? Yes, Tony.
Is this is online today?
Yeah,
Is it accessible, like recorded?
yeah, it's on our
All this
website.
will be recorded?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
being recorded.
So-
They'll drop it down later today.
Great,
Yeah, Aspen will take care of that. And in fact,
awesome.
all of the talks for probably the last 4 or 5 years are on our website.
Okay, great.
Okay. Yeah, I do tend to be a teacher, so I tend to present a lot of information.
I love it.
And that stunned look is one I'm familiar with. Yes, Victoria.
So what you're saying is you have to be aware first and foremost.
Mhm.
Be aware of what your body is.
Yeah.
So by what I do is I kind of hover above and watch myself. So if you watch yourself, if you can do that where you're watching yourself, you'll be aware of what you're doing.
Yes.
Right. So if you can learn to just
Yeah.
watch yourself, then you'll know because you're watching yourself.
It's traditionally called the witness consciousness.
Right, the witness, yes.
And there is a profound shift between victim and manifestor, to where I'm not stuck in my life. You know, that
Right.
there's space, there's openness, I have choice.
And I also,
It's an amazing thing, and it cannot be given to someone. Something in your life experience has them wake up. If you look back at your own life, there was some moment where you became aware that you were more than just your physical body. That there was something inside you that was stable and always there. Stephanie?
These are also known as the four kingdoms of consciousness, right?
Yep. Yep. Yeah, there's lots of different names for them, but four kingdoms, yeah.
Did this all come from other teachings, or is it specifically from the teacher, the founder of this church?
It's not directly from Holmes. I would say it's part of the perennial philosophy, and different people have gone in and expressed it this way. A lot of this came from Michael Beckworth.
That's where it originated?
Again, it's not original. It's perennial. It's been around forever. It's just they talked about it in different ways. So this is the more modern version. And a lot of that I would put to Michael Beckworth, is to popularize it.
But the origination of it is
Lost in the history.
Anonymous.
Buddha?
Not God.
Buddha?
There are elements, again, it's not presented this. One of the things I like about Science of Mind is it's very direct,
Yeah.
okay? The Buddha talks about waking up.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's, what are you waking up from?
So
The
did
dream.
Jesus. Jesus also was trying to
Exactly.
wake up everyone.
Exactly. So what is it, the dream that we are living in? And the dream that we're living in is all that there is this physical body and this physical existence. It's all from the outer in. That's victim consciousness. I live from the outside in. So whatever has us wake up to realize there's an inner that creates the outer. That the outer is a reflection of the inner. And again, I think that truth is in all the religions. It's just they say it differently. I like Beckworth because it's very direct. It's modern language. It's not wrapped in mysticism.
If you could be like scientifically, a beam from God is coming into us, and then it's going out.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't go into, the air can't catch the beam, or that table can't catch the beam. Only us are tuned in, have the tuning capability in our brain or whatever to
Or
Absorb it.
absorb
we
it.
are the most refined receptor that we are aware of.
We can actually translate it if we wake up. You can.
Asma, did you have your hand up earlier?
I did. As a teacher, you must have had resources to pull for finding this talk. So do you have book recommendations? Do you have website recommendations to find more information on this topic?
Patricia, I have go ahead. Well, I was just going to mention, I've been busting to say, coincidentally, within the last month, in a used bookstore, I found the Beckwith book. I think it's called The Visioning Process. It's a little red book. It's a quick read. It's real, puts all of this out, and I'm not articulating it. If you're interested in this, I would grab that book and read it.
He's got a book
I'm
called
sorry, what
Life
was it
Visioning.
called?
Yeah,
He's got
the
a
Life
book called
Visioning,
Life
yeah.
Visioning, and the first 4 chapters are essentially the 4 realms of consciousness.
Cool.
So it's Beckwith, BECKWO.
WITH.
WITH.
Michael Bernard.
Michael Bernard Beckwith. He's the one who started the Agape Center.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
It's a
spin-off
great
of
book.
SMM, yes.
And it
It's
goes
on the
into
last
then
weekend,
his,
too. It's a quick read.
his very well developed visioning process, which is a fabulous spiritual tool. We teach a whole class on it, and I believe Debbie Putnam will be starting to do, Reverend Debbie will be starting to do some visioning with us to create our vision, to create our mental equivalent for what we want in this center.
So will that class be offered here?
Yeah.
That's like through the web or in person here?
Mhm.
And you'll sit and watch a screen,
Yeah.
or is she actually here?
No, she will be here doing it, for the vision. She
That
will
would-
be doing mine.
That would be a
Yeah.
really good effort to publicly
Yeah.
bring people in, because
Agreed.
something like that would really, I think,
Translate.
bring a lot of people into the church
Agreed.
and may help us grow.
Agreed.
That's,
Come to the meeting afterwards, we'll talk more about the business part.
that's
of it.
not gonna be a class, that's actually gonna be a practice.
Yeah, that one's gonna be a
The
practice.
class is a different
Is how
story.
to do it, but yeah, Debbie will be doing actual visioning. Okay, anybody else got any comments, questions? Yes, Connie?
I just want to, for the people who are not that familiar with Science of Mind, is that Ernest Holmes, through his studies throughout the years, studied many of the traditions, many of
Yes.
the spiritual leaders from time immortal, and distilled much of the philosophies and beliefs and thoughts into his book, The Science of Mind, and other texts that he wrote throughout life.
Mhm.
It's an amalgamation of belief systems that I believe, I've been using it for many years, works.
Mhm. That's what I mean by perennial philosophy. It's what is true about all religions.
Right.
Okay, and that's what Holmes was looking for. Let's not look at where we disagree. Let's look at where everybody agrees and presume there's truth there. And then his second step was, how do you prove it to yourself? Don't take my word for it. How do you prove it to yourself? And that's where the spiritual practices come in. Treatment, visualizations, affirmations, the mental work, because all thought is creative.
Was he around, did this come about at the same time as Dianetics? Because Dianetics is kind of science of
Oh,
mind
no,
too.
oh, no.
That was later.
Dianetics is.
Is after him?
Yeah.
That's
Before?
in the 1960s.
So,
Yeah.
He died in the 1920s and 30s.
oh, he was
Holmes.
before,
Oh, good.
Yeah.
so Dianetics kind of stole from him. That's probably where he got his.
It's
I
a
don't know
commonality.
that much
There's
about
commonalities.
Dianetics, but
Well-
I had a minister that I really valued who said Dianetics was mental science without God.
Oh.
Yeah, right, but it's still the
Okay?
science.
The mental
The science
science
part.
shows up in a lot of places. Yeah. Anybody else? Well, good to go? So what's next? Spiritual mind treatment. I'm going to close with the spiritual mind treatment, and then I'm going to ask for demonstrations. In this moment, in this now that is forever, the infinite moment of now, there is a presence that lives within me, within you, within everyone. And it is this presence that has been there from the very beginning that guides and leads and sustains and loves. There is a law of mind that says yes to whatever it is that I believe. And it gives me the power of choice. So right here and right now, I choose to believe that I am a divine spirit having a human experience. And I have joy and love at my fingertips, intelligence, wisdom, power, beauty, harmony, peace, because there is only one, and one cannot be divided against itself. It is one harmonic whole. And I know that that lives in me, transforming each cell into my body to remember perfect, vibrant health It transforms my ideas about circulation. And I know that love and money and goodness circulate freely. And I'm in that flow of circulation. And I give thanks for all this and more. And so it is.
And so it is.
So it is.
And we have any demonstrations? I have one I will share. Some of you know that Debbie and Jim Putnam are now off on their cruise to the Panama Canal. Well, they weren't sure they were going because Jim ended up with a blood clot in his leg. And we all know how serious that is. So Debbie put out the word, treat, and the blood clot disappeared.
Wow.
Absolutely disappeared. So all having a wonderful time. And
You know, it occurred to me at some point during these years that long before I ever knew about this, is that I think I demonstrated the refusal to accept a doctor telling me that he thought I had Sjogren's disease.
Mm.
And he was a dentist, he was an oral surgeon. And I said, how dare you say that to me? And I absolutely refused, even though I had two sisters who had it. And I think that's a demonstration of my belief and my feeling that I refuse to accept that.
That is a life-affirming no.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely great. Stephanie.
I have one incredible demonstration among many others. About 5 years ago, a dear close relative, very close, I actually helped deliver her.
Oh.
She was pregnant and she was in a cult and she was not allowed to go out into the hospitals or medical system, and she was isolated in a rural area, and she was having complications with her pregnancy. And she had had complications with her first pregnancy. And she was also angry with me because I stood my truth and said, I'm worried about you. I want to know that you're going to get help if you need it. And she got offended, and luckily, you know, this works. So I was afraid to tell her, but I had to because if she died, I didn't want to live with not warning her, because the first one she almost died. So the second one, these were undocumented births too, because they wanted control. All right, laser treatment. Long story. We were talking. I said, I gotta go to church. I'll call you afterwards. And she was overdue like 2 or 3 weeks. I can't remember. It was past the medical dangerous. I went to Foothills Church. I shared it with them. The whole center treated. An hour later, she gave birth. 1 hour labor.
Wow.
No problems.
Wow.
That's
Amazing.
Thank God.
God for you.
Thank God for all of us.
Okay.
For being aware.
Yeah.
Treatment works. This is new. It's our offering time. Y'all know what to do?
Gratitude.
My attitude is give with joy, give with gratitude, thank you. The music while the basket goes around. You can also go online. There's a donate button on the website. You could say with me our abundance affirmation. In
And
a
a
consciousness
consciousness
of
of
abundance,
I live freely, knowing that I am freely given to spirit. And so it is.
You want to stand for our closing song? You might want to turn my mic off. I like to sing this song. And we're going to be singing a cappella. A cappella. That's why
Well,
you
you're
want my
leaving
mic
us
off.
then.
We know it.
I
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
So, we gather with grateful hearts. There's some goodies out there, I believe. And we're going to have the community meeting in like 5 minutes.
Okay, good.
Wow.
Yay! Thank you. Do you have a prayer request?
Me too.
Can you mic me again? Aspen, can you mic me again? What? Can you mic me again?
You will love that book.
If you want.
That's why I like paradise share because
Please come and
it's a quick, you know what I mean, how some of
on our
this stuff.
website.
It's good to have by your bedside to constantly remind you.
Right, and it's fairly quick, and I have a lot going on, so I was like, oh, I can't take another book, you know what I mean, but I was in a youth bookstore, and I was like, you want to read this book, and I was able to get through it really quick last weekend, like, you know, and it's a very powerful, it explains this, and then it has a visioning process you talked about.